The last phase of our tutorials for the Battlebot and the Goodbot movie is sound effects. Now I've asked you to go out and find your own soundtrack with the exception of the explosion clip, which I've enclosed in the tutorial files. I've got my sound effects, so I'm going to hit Command-I to import them. And if I wanted to, I could bring them individually, or because I've got a folder, I can select the folder name Sound and I can choose Open. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the musical soundtrack, which would be going on for the duration of the movie. So I'll click on the clip I've chosen and drag it to my composition window. And now if I were to open up that clip with the triangle on layer 1 and go down to waveform, I can see the physical waveform. Now if I tap the space bar, I should hear my audio file. Next I'm going to introduce the sound effect for the Battlebot. So I'll click and drag it on screen. And at this point it gets pretty subjective. But with this I'm going to loop it like we did with our video files. So I'll right click on the audio file and I'll go to Interpret Footage, Main, and I'll loop that for about 30 sequences. And I'll drag it out so that it goes the length of my timeline. I'll tap my spacebar again to preview the mix of both of these sound clips. So I'm going to drop the audio of the musical soundtrack. And I'm going to do that by simply dragging next to audio levels the series of blue zeros. If I left mouse drag to the left, it will drop the audio. So I'll make it -12. And I think I might drop the audio for the robot noise as well. Opening up the waveform. A left mouse click and drag on the zeros to the left, and maybe a -7, and preview. Now the only soundtrack I'm going to concentrate on here is the explosion. I'll allow you to decide the background music and then the robot noise, but we want to sync up the explosion noise I've provided with the explosion of our robot. So go and I'll drag on my playback head to where the Battlebot starts to come apart, and then I'll drag my explosion clip onto screen, and then I'll move that clip to that time frame, which for me is about 23 seconds. I'm going to preview that area now, and I'll click and drag. I've got it right where I want it, so now we're ready to export this movie.